This video is brought to you by Artistworks. Artistworks are part of TrueFire Studios, and they offer direct access to master musicians through their innovative online learning platform. Partnering with iconic musicians, they've crafted decades of industry experience into guided paths of online learning. Crucially, there's an option to get personalized feedback tailored specifically to your playing via their unique video exchange. Get direct guidance towards your playing goals. You can use the code GNC40 for 40% off of any of Artistworks courses. I actually did a video last week kind of explaining, because I had Patreon member Jennifer asking about how I think about kind of licks, or asking not just me, but asking people on my Patreon how they go about like making sense of these licks, using them and all that sort of stuff. If you're interested in that, check out last week's video. There was also a lick lesson within that. But one of the things that I see online is like I can see amazing players doing really cool stuff. But when it comes to like things, so like if you check out Ben Eunson on Instagram, he'll put up these posts like talking about etudes or improvised lines and stuff like this, and they're always incredibly fast, incredibly awesome, but also it seems to me like they blend a lot of things at once, and it is a little bit difficult to necessarily make a ton of sense from in my eyes. If it's taking me a while to figure out what's going on with any of it, I'm guessing it's taking everyone else, just as long. I guess they're intended to sell you on the tabs and the lessons and stuff, but I feel like if you break things down to a slightly smaller chunk, you can actually get quite a lot out of these things, and just incorporate smaller chunks into your playing. I think that for me has been the way that I can get new ideas into my playing a little bit quicker and actually dissect what is the thing that's going on within a lick. So I heard this tiny little part of a very long Ben Eunson lick, and it was around this idea of pentatonic stuff, which of course I'm interested in, but he played something that I'm not sure that I'd heard and definitely not seen executed in this way before. So I wanted to sort of break it apart. So we're in E minor for this. Ben Eunson, definitely someone who utilises 3-note per string stuff and wide stretches. He's a stretchy boy. So for this lick, what we're going to start off doing is where the lick happened initially. So that's around here. So we're going to be thinking about 3-note per string pentatonics. And I've done videos on these before, but essentially what you're doing here is blending two shapes in that way. And then you get a wide, stretchy thing. If I was playing this sort of thing, I think what I'd be more likely to do be that sort of thing. But you can't really get that fast because this pointer finger would have to be going. So that would be the kind of restricting thing here would be how fast you can make that movement. And I can't do that particularly fast. So what Ben is doing is making use of that doubling. So you go 8th fret, 12th fret, 10th fret, 12th fret. And then that sets us up to do the same thing on the next string. Really, really quite clever. So that's the concept, right? You, instead of going on the same string, you're going to drop a string for that last note. Now, if you've watched my channel at all before, so that is like the tiny little essence of something that was interesting about a way longer Ben Eunson lick, which had, you know, loads and loads and loads and loads and notes. That if you just take that little concept, what we can do with that is, instead of it just being a little thing that exists in Ben Eunson's playing, and maybe we could learn a whole lick by Ben, what you could do is just take that little portion of the lick and move this around the rest of the pentatonic scale. Could be a really useful exercise. So let's start, I guess, as close to like our normal E minor box as we can. So same concept, but we're using a different shape now. Okay, we could go down a box. Back to our home one. Beneath that. Figure out, you know, ways. Finger that work. Then one more. Okay, and then what I'm doing there is essentially taking that one little snippet of Ben Eunson-ness, and I've created that into my own kind of little piece of difficulty. Very stretchy, but you could use that also in other contexts because it's 3 notes per string. Take it into like a normal G major. That kind of thing. Could be really useful. So I'm going to go and practice that. I encourage you to maybe as well. What I'll do is I'll chuck up a tab for that and across all of the E minor stuff. But of course, you want to take this into other keys. So something like, just think about the pentatonic boxes wherever you are. Like C minor. And do quite a lot of this while you're trying to get used to this concept. sometimes a mistake might even sound good. And, you know, change key semi-regularly, B minor. It's a really new movement for me, so it feels quite strange. And yeah, you're gonna, picking wise, I'm gonna be so that's something that I'm gonna be trying to work on this week, as I remember it, in between learning 2 sets of music. So just one of those things, like, oops, just like you, I see these things that really impress me online. It's just how you try to digest these things. Instead of it being this whole massive lick, just take that tiny concept and create your own sort of little work plan out of it, your own little session. These way smaller little chunks of information are actually, I think, far more useful for practicing. So we've got that little concept just moving. Instead of having the whole lick on one string, you move down and set up the next part of the lick. I hope that's vaguely interesting, and something that I've not tried before with the pentatonic scale, so I'm really excited to get stuck into this a bit more. I'll catch you in another video soon. Patreon will be the place to get the tab, as well as the backing track, and yeah, Eunson, incredible player. I'll catch you in another video soon. Cheers.